make the most of this captaincy, you're never going to captain again, we're going to smash it. And it's going on and on and on. So I bring myself on the next day after Nasser and I have had this sort of argy-bargy, sledging each other. And he runs down the wicket to try and hit me out the park and misses it. Gets stumped. I get a couple more wickets. I bring McGrath back. He gets a couple of wickets. We end on and win the game. Sledging or gamesmanship or whatever else you want to call it, trash talk, is all about moments when sometimes the match is on the line and it's just a little comment, or you wouldn't want to get out now or something. So it's nothing crass or personal or anything like that. And you've got to pick your mark. You know, a few times we had a go at Sachin Tendulker, and in the end, every time he played against Australia, it was like his testimonial game. He made 100. So we stopped doing that. Brian Lara, a bit the same. Didn't want to fire him up. But then there was guys like Daryl Cullinan from South Africa, Nasser Hussain from England, that you felt that you could get under his skin. And if you had a go at him at the right time, I remember one with Nasser. I'll give you an example. I was vice captain of the Australian side and Steve Waugh got injured, so I was captain of the Australian side. And we had the one-day series going around and we were doing pretty well, but it got to the stage where just before the finals. And we're playing in Sydney and I was fielding at cover. And Nasser was batting and they were cruising England. And Nasser was captain of England. And Nasser's into me, you're never going to captain again, just know that. And I said, come on Nasser, I know you're going to get out. You think you can play one-day cricket, but I know you're going to get out. You're going to let your team down. Make the most of this captaincy, you're never going to captain again. We're going to smash it. And it's going on and on and on. So I'd saved myself for a couple of overs and McGrath for a couple of overs, Glenn McGrath. So I was getting to the stage now where if we don't come on now, it's too late. So I think it was the 41st or 42nd over. They only need like about 35 runs to win. They've got 7 wickets in hand. Nasser's on 50 odd or 60. They're cruising. So I bring myself on the next day after Nasser and I have had this sort of argy-bargy, sledging each other. And he runs down the wicket to try and hit me out the park and misses it. Gets stumped. I get a couple more wickets. I bring McGrath back. He gets a couple of wickets. We end on and win the game. So that's where sledging played a part in getting under Nasser's skin, because he thought they're in a position, he wanted to smash me out. He hated me when we played and he wanted to smash me out the park. But because I had so many wickets in hand and they thought they could win that game, they should win 9 times out of 10, they thought, oh well, if I don't, so be it. And in the end we won. And commentating with Nasser all the time too, I love it. I try and bring it up every single time I can to see if the guys can show it, because it just makes me laugh. When we're off the pitch, after, do whatever you have on the field, play it as hard and as fair on the field as you can. But once you get off the field, go and sit in the dressing room, have a beer and have a laugh about it. And that was a good thing when I started in the late 80s and early 90s. That's what you did. Whoever was in the field, you would grab a beer or a soft drink and you'd go, generally a beer, and go next door and sit with the opposition for hours. We did it domestically and we did it internationally. And I think it's one of those old traditions that I just think should come back to cricket. And even all sports, I think there's nothing like getting to know your opposition. It's fun. Sport was fun. My job, I hear sportsmen these days saying it's their job. My job was try and be the best parent I could to my 3 children. My hobby and my passion was my cricket, my sport. I played because I loved it. I was passionate about it, I loved it, and it was fun. So I never really saw it as a job, and I think I played like that. I tried to entertain when I could. I think people enjoyed watching me play and watching the team play. So, yeah, I like to think people will look back and think that I entertain them.